the narrative that it was a
again, by the way.
racist. I don't care. They supported the narrative that it was a racist ideology, a racist law. It was going to be a
The
race
President of the United
debate.
States told the people of Arizona, you're racist. That's
You're
exactly
racist.
what Obama
Yes.
did.
And when you say that about a state, and then
Metaphorically.
oh, sure.
He didn't use those words.
When your lawsuit that you file has no basis in civil rights or no basis in race and is
Sure.
quote unquote constitutional, when in reality that lawsuit that they filed is pretty weak. I'm pretty
It is
sure
very weak.
you could argue
But it's
a more,
not completely weak.
It's pretty complete.
Yeah, the federal government may have a case on a few minor points. Whether or not a judge will find that compelling or not, I have my doubts. But then again, it all depends upon where they file and which judge they go to.
Yes, and it's going to be an
But the
interesting.
law was written very carefully to mirror the federal law.
Right.
It's not the problem the federal government has here is that the case the government's making is this is essentially nullification. In other words, the state law will supersede federal law. That's kind of like their point.
Right.
That's not what the Arizona law says at all.
No.
Remember, the Arizona law recognizes the supremacy of federal law. We just want to help.
Mm-hmm.
That's we're just going to help.
And the basis is one of their bases in Arizona. I guess they're saying that the federal government sinks millions of dollars into Arizona to enforce the border, using state authorities, using
Sure.
state and local authorities
Right.
in Arizona, and all Arizona is doing is allowing their state and local authorities
Sure.
to have the authority to enforce that federal law.
And even without
And-
submitting a bill to the federal government, no cost, free charge.
Yeah, we'll do it for you.
Yeah.
And I find it amazing that in this day and age we have the Mexican president going to the White House to condemn this law, and the American president standing next to him,
agreeing with him,
saying, "Yes, you
taking
are
the
bad
side of a
people."
foreign power
Over
over a
his own
sovereign
citizens.
state of the United States. That was absolutely outrageous.
That was heinous.
And
yet-
you know me, I supported Obama early on in his administration.
No, and here's the thing: it's
I defended that guy 5 times on this show.
we have as a nation desensitized ourselves to what are true issues and become basically children of a media spin generation. And it pisses me off that my generation is incapable of formulating a lot of their own ideas, and that this is where we're going.
Because my generation has polluted your brain.
well, and
Baby.
you just have
Baby boomers, they're the worst.
Every single person, I think, owes it to themselves to look up as much source material as they can on something like this, to read the Constitution, to read the Arizona law, to read bills that are put before Congress, to formulate an informed opinion. Because if you do all that and you arrive at a liberal position, I don't have a problem with that. I'll debate you on that. But
Sure.
what has come up is we've allowed ourselves as a culture to throw up words like racism, fascism. Words like that really mean
Catchphrases,
heinous
code
things.
words, and
Exactly.
phrases. That's the whole purpose of the book I'm
We
writing.
we are now using a flashcard defense for anything that comes up on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, you're a corporate fascist. Well, you're a government fascist. You're a racist. You're a hypocrite.
You're a corporate fascist. You know, there's this one perfect line that sums the whole thing up. Go ask a poor man for a job.
Exactly.
Go ask a poor man for a
Look,
job.
if you
I have no problem with people. I don't care how rich Bill Gates is.
Oh,
it means
no.
absolutely nothing to me.
And it
Am
doesn't
I
affect-
okay? I don't make a lot of money, but my kids are fed. They got clothes on their back. They got a college education. I was able to do this. They got out without any debt. You know, and I was able to do it on a teacher's salary.
But I heard Bill Maher and Cornel West on Bill Maher's show specifically addressing this issue, saying, Bill Maher said, and I quote, "A lot of people say rich people making money doesn't affect my ability to make money." And him and Cornel West said in stereo, yes, it does. They honest to God believe that if people are out there like Rush Limbaugh, like
Because he's not making Limbaugh money.
high-powered DC lawyers will say comedians on Comedy Central, people who make a good chunk of money, are actually taking that money from the poor. As if the poor have stockpiles of money that these people can just reach in and grab like
Or that
claw vending
HBO would
machines.
hire some homeless person to come in and do an hour program,
Right.
talk show on HBO.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, you can't. That's the point. These are some very bad ideas.
Yes. Well, trusting anybody else's opinion but your own without your own validation is a very bad idea. That's why I formulate my own opinions, whether or not I agree with Keith Olbermann,
I
Glenn Beck, or
think
Rush
it's
Limbaugh.
okay to trust a person's opinion in its sincerity.
In the sincerity.
But that doesn't mean you have to accept it.
No, but yeah, I think it's. I think if you're going to.
I think Keith Olbermann's sincere about what he says.
No. What I'm saying
he's
is,
got some pretty kooky notions.
if you're going to use, say, Glenn Beck's opinion to counter somebody who believes in Keith Olbermann's opinion, you better follow up on Glenn Beck's opinion.
Sure.
Because all you're doing is parroting something.
Do you know who David Allen Greer is?
I love David Allen Greer.
I love David Allen
Did
Greer.
you say Chocolate News? That show?
No, I missed it. Oh God, I loved
Too bad it got
it.
canceled.
David Allen Greer did a special on TV shortly after Obama won, and he started with just being so unbelievably overjoyed, like a child who just Christmas is here, and it was wonderful though. It really worked. I enjoyed every minute of it. But when he was done with all this wonderful thing, he looked at the camera and says, "Barack Obama, do not lose your mind." And I think Barack Obama has lost his mind. I think David Allen Greer is probably sitting there going, "Oh God, he has lost his mind." It's going to be a long time before we get another one.
I mean, it's never. Whoever gets in there has lost their mind. I mean, to want to be a politician, that's what my personal opinion is.
Sure.
That you're,
Got to be a little nuts.
You're arrogant. You think very highly of yourself.
Sure.
And you think that you know best for everybody else.
Does this sound familiar, Percy?
I'm not saying a word.
No.
I think she read my biography.
It's so, and they just want to, the power, and they want to get all the money. They want the perks. They want to go off when they leave office, go off, be lobbyists or whatever, make all this money. And
all the reason. I used to be opposed to this now, but I am completely sold on term limits now.
Oh, yeah.
Completely sold on term
definitely.
limits. My feeling always had been, no. They have term limits. Every time they're going to come up for election, their term is over. If you don't want them, vote them out. But it has become so... The recent bills passed over the obvious consternation of the American public.
Not to mention the Constitution, which has now been used basically as congressional
convinced me and
toilet
said,
paper.
my God, we actually have to limit these people's terms. No one should be allowed to sit in the House for more than 6 years, and no one should be allowed more than 2 terms to the United States Senate. 3 terms the House, 2 terms Senate, 2 terms President.
I think a 10-year term is Supreme Court Justice, too.
We may want to start thinking in terms of limiting that, making it automatic.
The justice...
They don't go up for re-election. You're right. You're appointed for a term. So whatever decisions you make, they can be honest decisions, but you can only hold that for 10 years. And after that, you're out. You cannot sit on the Supreme Court anymore.
The next president, 10 years...
I think you would still get the same thing that the Founding Fathers wanted.
Right.
Someone who's going to make a detached judgment.
Right.
But like I said before, when someone like Sotomayor, whose nomination I supported, tells me she accepts the Second Amendment as law, as read, as accepted in the body of law, and then on the very first case you get says, no, you have no such right exists, that tells me that she lied to get the job and she should be in there. And it'd be easier just to let her, I guess, go for 10 years than it would be to impeach her.
I really think 10... I think
and I may not have grounds to impeach her, so...
I think, who is it? Michael Kennedy, I think, the guy who can kind of go both ways in the Supreme Court right now, has become the most powerful man in America.
Yeah, but isn't it funny the way Kennedy has voted all of a sudden?
He's starting to vote more.
He's starting to vote more conservative. Yeah. It's something like sort of like the stuff he's hearing from. He used to be to the left side of the court, and it's almost as if the things that he's hearing out of people like probably Sotomayor.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap!
Yeah.
That's not what you said when you were up for confirmation, and all of a sudden. Now, you would hope that Kennedy's making these decisions not for political reasons.
Based on the Constitution.
But based on the Constitution, based upon body of law.
Judicial
But his last few decisions, he has come down on the side with the conservatives. Some of these decisions have been 6-3, not 5-4.
Right.
Because Kennedy's been coming down with that. Well, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank Brooke Fox for joining us tonight.
Absolutely.
I want to thank Percy Hugo for coming in. Brooke, I'll stop by your office tomorrow, see you. We'll take care of those documents.
Sure.
And get that thing donated to the Medical University. Please donate to the Dr. James W. Colbert Jr. Endowment Chair and Provost at the Medical University of South Carolina. If you want to know how to do that, just go to the website, musc.edu, and just follow the instructions. It'll lead you right there. I also want to say goodnight to Snodgrass. Snodgrass, good night. You know we all love you. And good night from all of us from Colbertradio.com.
Love it.